Let's take a look at lesson 7.2 on percents and proportions. Consider the sentence, 50% of 18 is 9. Since 50% just means half, this makes sense. Half of 18 is 9. There are 5 very important pieces in this sentence. Remember, of means times. In math, is means equals. The 50% is our percent. Between the 18 and the 9, one is a part of the other. Here, 9 is just a piece of the 18. We will call 18 the whole. Imagine you have an 18-gallon jug. If you fill up the whole thing, you'll have 18 gallons, so 18 here would be the whole. If you fill it up 50% of the way, there will be 9 gallons of liquid inside. We filled up 9 out of the 18, which is equal to 50%, or 50 over 100. Look carefully at this proportion. 2 fractions equaling each other is a proportion, and each piece can be found somewhere in the sentence. This whole fraction is just the 50% in disguise. The 18 is the whole thing, so that's going to be our denominator. And the 9 is just a piece of that 18. How big of a piece is it? Well, it's a 50% piece. There are a lot of ways to think about this and a lot of ways to write it and solve it. In this lesson, it's important to understand how proportions do relate. So even if you know an easier way, it's still important to understand this. Now that we've seen the basic idea and what it has to do with a proportion, we're going to find there are 3 possible problems that come out of this setup. Let's look at the 3 types of problems that come up when you have proportions and percents. They correspond to the 3 parts. You can miss the piece, the whole, or the percent. Let's look at a short example of each kind. 12% of 276 is what number? We have the percent, and we have the whole, which is always the of number, but we're missing the piece. As a proportion, it would look like this. Because we're missing the piece, we have the whole, and we have the percent. A missing whole problem might look like this. 16% of what number is 50? As a proportion, it would look like this. Because you're missing the whole, but you have the piece, and we know it's going to equal this percent. A missing percent problem might look like this. What percent of 28 is 3? We put the piece on top and the whole on bottom, and from here we just need to find the percent. You could write it as a proportion like this, find x, which is the percent, but it's probably easier just to divide and find the percent from there.